Strong here from Fundamentally Fit for all of your health, fitness and dietary needs, and welcome back to part 2 of digestive health. Yesterday we were talking about the differences between celiac disease and between gluten intolerance. We've established that celiac disease is an autoimmune condition where the body attacks itself and damages the gut wall because it can't break down gluten. We also established that there was no response of the autoimmune system in our gluten intolerant sufferer. They simply suffer similar symptoms because they cannot break gluten down. However, the body doesn't attack itself in the same way. So today, how do we diagnose these two conditions? Well, as we briefly said in video 1, if you think you have celiac disease, and around 1% of the UK population does, head to your doctor for a blood test and this can easily be checked for. However, gluten intolerance cannot be tested for in this way. However, I do recommend that you go and see your doctor and get recommended or referred on to a specialist dietitian. Now, this specialist dietitian will probably do what is known as a FODMAP diet with you. And this has a few drawbacks and a few positives to it. Now, a FODMAP diet basically removes many of the fermentable sugars from your diet that are found in the different types of food that we eat. Often this is enough to remove or dramatically reduce the symptoms related to gluten intolerance. However, one of the drawbacks of this is there are often criticisms because removing all of these fermentable sugars means that it isn't actually easy to pinpoint if you had a pure gluten intolerance in the first place, or if you are now removing all of those fermentable sugars and now that you are benefiting as a response of the overall change. Now, basically what happens when we remove these fermentable sugars is there's certain sugars that the body sometimes struggles to digest in certain individuals. Now, these sugars will sit in the gut and the sugars shouldn't remain there, but the bacteria can now come in and feed on that sugar, which causes gas to be produced and causes many of the symptoms related to IBS and that are very similar to gluten intolerance and again similar to celiac disease. The reasoning behind this, of course, is very different to that of our celiac disease sufferer. Now, I would recommend that you go to your doctor, you go and see a specialist dietitian. And a FODMAP diet basically stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides and polyols. It basically means fermentable sugars. It's the fermentable sugars diet. So that's how I recommend you take your step forward. Head over to celiac.org.uk. It's fantastic resources for all things gluten, all things celiac, and really reputable sources of information there as well. If you want some advice, if you have a gluten intolerance and you know it's been diagnosed, if you want some advice with your celiac disease where you've had to now physically remove all of the gluten from your diet, then I'll be more than happy to help you and get you off on the right foot, help you restructure your diet. But if you're still in the early stages of trying to diagnose this, head to your doctors, go and see a specialist dietitian first. Until next time, I'm Andy Strong, helping you to eat smart, train smart, stay fundamentally fit. I hope you've enjoyed this 2-part series on digestive health, and if you've got any questions, pop them down below. Head over to our YouTube channel, leave us a comment, and I'd be happy to help and get involved. I'm Andy Strong. I'll see you in another video very soon.